We're live.
We are. We are.
Pete, what are those random games you're holding up against your head?
Is that Superman?
Well, we're talking about our favorite games.
Yes. Superman was definitely one of mine.
I guess there's no surprises anymore, is there?
No.
But there should be.
You know what? Since I'm in my second childhood now, Rocket League is one of my childhood favorites now.
There you go.
Uh-oh.
You get to start your third childhood when you retire.
Damn straight. Yeah. So
we've got Emma Jade.
Emma. I missed you earlier, Emma.
Torso is here. Papa Pete is here and here. Pete is everywhere.
He is here.
Junebug is here
and everywhere.
Drew. Papa Pete's video brought me here. How about that? Jerome.
Hello, Jerome.
Hit the likes.
I like that feature now that you can just put a little thing in, and I put the URL for this video, this chat tonight. Stuck at the end of the video premiered, and everybody can just click a button and come right here.
Hot diggity.
Excellent.
Is that like when you... No, I won't say that. It was a funny joke, but it's not nice.
Kurt Bradshaw.
It wouldn't have been received nicely. I don't
Savitor.
Say that.
And PJ.
Hey, PJ.
Right, so,
I missed
the bet. Childhood games. Your favorites are two of your favorites are Adventure and Superman, right? For Atari.
Absolutely. This one I remember getting later on. I got it very early, saw it in the book, like the cat. Of course, I loved it all. Came with catalogs, which I suppose I should. I don't know, there's one right here. No, those are in television ones, but they came with a little. Everybody's seen those catalogs, right? And I thought that looked amazing.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
This was the first one I ever bought. After I got it for Christmas, I got Space Invaders and Combat, and maybe this came with it, but Adventure. Maybe I had that at Christmas too. No, it was Air Sea Battles what I got with it. But anyway, the very first game when I got a new game was this one right here, and I loved it ever since.
We had the same Christmas, Pete. I got Space Invaders and Combat came with it, but Space Invaders was the other game I got.
How do you get Space Invaders?
I also got this guy right here, the Stunt Cycle.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And that was one of my favorite things because it was a whole new piece of hardware.
Yeah. Yeah. And back then, man, there was nothing like some new mechanic stuff to play around with.
Well, I mean, Atari is the first system I had, so I mean, Space Invaders by far was my favorite.
Hey, Retro Bro.
I love Space Invaders. Played that so much.
Same here.
Hey, Retro Bro. How's it going?
Same here.
I'll still say that I enjoy the Atari 2600 version of Space Invaders better than the arcade.
No.
I do.
But
yeah, I liked it better than the arcade myself.
But I wasn't complaining that it didn't look exactly the same, and I like
the looks of it better, to be honest.
Yeah, and I understand that too, but I dug that whole vector, look.
Oh yeah.
I dug all that. It was,
for some reason, I didn't have a complaint with Space Invaders like I did with Asteroids, going from vector to blocks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like Asteroids on 2600. And Asteroids was my favorite arcade game at the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was a big letdown for me.
What'd you think of Defender in that situation?
I like Defender. Oh, go ahead, Jeff.
Oh, I never played it on Atari.
Oh, is that right?
Later. Yeah.
I liked it better on the Atari than in the arcade as well, because I found the arcade one was just so damn hard with all the buttons. I really didn't enjoy it, especially at that age, like 12, 13 years old. But when I got it for the Atari, yes, when you fired, your ship disappeared. Okay. It was a flicker thing, right? But you look back in 2024 at that and go, oh, it's too bad it had to flicker. But back then, you didn't care. It's just that's the way the game was, right?
That's the way it went. Yeah.
And it was awesome. I loved it. I love Defender.
Hey, Stargroove, the handheld version of Defender by Entex was the very first gaming device he ever owned. Oh,
wow.
Do you still have it? Because that'd be really cool to have right now.
Cool avatar, too, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was the thing about the Atari stuff. You know, we didn't. I wasn't worried, like you said, that didn't look the same. Geez, we had it at home. You know.
Yeah.
I didn't have to go somewhere and pump quarters into something. You know.
It never really fazed me a whole lot that, it's not as good as the arcade, because I had no assumptions that it would be.
Right.
I mean, I loved Pong. We had the Pong machine. The sound come out of the little box that sat there in front of you, and you had to sit around it because the knobs were attached, right?
Yep.
You know what? Arcade.
You'd hit it back, and just before we get to your friend, you'd whack them.
The arcade game I loved on Atari, even though I didn't like the arcade game that much, really, was Missile Command.
Oh, cool. Yes.
I just couldn't get over how good it worked.
Yeah.
Without trackball. I was shocked.
100%. Yeah. Rob Fulop.
I knew what he was doing.
Yeah. He did.
Emma, you must be much younger than us, because Die Hard Arcade on Saturn, Bug 2, Daytona USA, Lost Vikings. All classics right there.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of spread the love around on the images.
I didn't get to play any of those games because I was too busy trying to pay rent for a wedding and pay back student loans.
Adulting.
I was trying to learn how to adult at that time.
I'm going to give it a shot.
And luckily I forgot everything.
Space Invaders and Adventure was Torso's.
That's awesome, Torso.
First Atari.
Air Sea Battle 2. I'm going to tell you right now. We're talking about classics. As far as favorites, I can remember some times when we would play like groups of like family and stuff like that. You play Air Sea Battle, a little 2 minutes and 16 seconds, and you'd have tournaments and contests with playing like Game 11 with the torpedoes that went back and forth shooting up at the planes. It was just so much friggin' fun, and you'd play head to head, and everybody get into it, and we had a blast with those games.
Yeah,
I was like 12, like I said, so just so much fun.
And I have to Missile Command.
I have to re-mention Warlords, of course, in that same vein. I mean, I'll never forget hanging out at our friend's place, the McNally's, and just families hanging out, and 4 of us at a time are sitting in front of the tube, just.
Yeah, Warlords was amazing. Now, Jeff, would you put Missile Command as one of the absolute best Atari 2600 games? Like, some people may not like it, but as far as what it achieved,
I would say yes. I'm not a big Missile Command fan, but even I had fun with it because it was done so well. I mean, you had a joystick. It's like, how was this working? It worked. I mean, it wouldn't be one of my top, but I would say just the way it was programmed, and it's just really, really good. Just overall, it's not one of my favorite games around. Stargroove does not have that Defender anymore. I actually started with the handheld games before video games.
Yep.
Those were awesome.
That's been a classic subject on our show, especially through you. Talking about those and having them. And Pete, you have one too, right?
I have a new, like one of those, that style game, but I have this always sort of right here beside me that I still play to this day.
Yes.
My head-to-head baseball. Cool. That still works. Was having that on. I like turning it on every once in a while just so the batteries.
Yeah, that's probably smart.
2 9-volt batteries.
2 9-volt. I don't think I've ever seen anything that took 2 9-volt.
I don't either.
9-volt batteries.
Now, what's the advantage of 9 volts over like a AAA?
Well, you can stick your tongue on it and it goes.
I really don't know.
If you consider that an advantage. I always thought that was weird. You're like, that's really weird.
Yeah, I've done 2 videos on handheld, Bambino football and Bambino Space Duel.
Space Duel, yeah.
I think. Yeah, and I should probably finish that off. I still got like 3 or 4 more.
Space Duel was one of those.
Right. I remember those. Yeah.
Space Duel had to have been one of the last vectored games. to come out.
Torso's first system was the RCA Studio 2. I have no idea what that is, Torso. Never even heard of it.
Huh.
Hey, Fastback, what's going on?
Hey, Fastback, what's going on, Chris?
Yeah, Mattel Football was great. I had a friend who had that. That was very good. I never got that until I was an adult. Remember when Target started selling those again? Is that in the 90s? Late 90s, maybe? They started selling them again? Savitar still has his Galaxian 2-player head-to-head handheld from childhood. Wow.
And does it still works, I guess? Yeah.
Those Bambino handhelds that I have are I would say they're the oldest thing that I own from my childhood that's like video game related.
Okay. Am I misreading this? Or is Pierre saying it twice? I had the football and football.
That's what he says.
I'm like,
He's adamant. He had the football.
Football and football.
I'm guessing baseball and football.
Right.
Baseball.
That's what I would guess.
Yeah, baseball. I'm sorry.
And did they make a soccer one? So was it football and football?
Did they have a hockey one, Pete? Didn't they have a hockey one later on?
Well, which one? Mattel? Oh yeah.
Okay.
I met football and baseball. The typing is not on your side tonight.
I am.
I remember the
talking to you, Pete.
No, that was Chrissy.
I was like, wow.
She snuck in and scared me.
Basketball handheld was good too. Yeah.
Does she want to come in and tell us her favorite childhood video games?
Well, I'll ask her.
All right.
I don't think she does though.
Did like the bowling on it. Okay. Pierre, I'm sorry. I can't help myself. Typos and autocorrect are one of the funniest damn things that piss me off.
I never make fun of anyone's typing when they speak more languages than me.
Well, very good, Jesse. I should have bared that in mind.
Mattel had Battlestar Galactica. Let me pop that up there. Auto racing, just the name of that just bothers me. Basketball were great.
It's okay to laugh. Thank you. All right. I'm laughing with you.
Emma Jade despises autocorrect. It can be pretty funny though.
Absolutely.
That's some humor that we didn't have back in our
Force
childhood.
No.
Gale Force Raceway. How's it going? Welcome. What are we discussing here? Our favorite childhood video games. Yeah. What are yours, Gale Force Raceway?
Now, you guys talk about handhelds. I know I've mentioned it on here before, but I still don't know that I've ever found a true picture of it. Maybe I'll look for it here, but I don't think I've ever found a true picture of the one that my brother had, which was the Pac-Man handheld.
Oh, wow.
If I remember right in my snapshot memory, I played it a lot, and it was like a black with royal blue handheld, and it seemed like it was a little bit bigger in some way, whichever way that was. And
black and blue for, I guess, kind of mimicking the background.
Wasn't
the background black and the.
You're right. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. I was expecting to say yellow, but okay.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find. I should have asked if I'd have thought about this ahead of time. I just saw him. I could text him. He might get back to me, but not that he wouldn't get back to me. I'm just saying he may not get it. But let me see if I can figure it out. Let's see if I can.
Yeah.
Oh,
I Jeff, remember that, Chris? That Pac-Man shaped like a Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Jeff, how was our Mo Game Con? Did you go?
Yeah, it was great. The location was fantastic. It was so much bigger.
Where was it?
It was Queenie Park at one of their like rec centers.
Wow.
And it was like less than half the amount to get there for us.
Sweet.
Like the other one was like 26, 27 minutes. This one was 13. It was great.
I was going to say, it's not very far from you.
Yeah. But there was a lot of good vendors there.
Good. Did you pick up anything?
Tom and Lacey from
Did you see Tom and Lacey? Good.
Yep. Got a picture taken with them.
Cool.
Well, they took our picture with them. So I don't have their picture with us. I guess we should have switched phones. Didn't think about that.
Yeah. Wow. Let's see.
Oh, Salvatore spent many hours on Intellivision poker and blackjack.
Gotta learn how to gamble when you're a kid.
PJ, I always wanted that microvision. It always looks so cool. As for handheld, split second and head-to-head football.
Yeah, head-to-head football.
For television, Gale Force Raceway at horse racing, snafu, and Dungeons and Dragons.
Let's see here.
I was just thinking, I went from Atari, and then there was a huge gap until the late 80s when I got NES, Genesis, and TurboGrafx. I mean, I did play on the Commodore 64, but there was a big gap for me there. Hey, Peach, I put you on full screen.
Mooning the camera. So you're gonna. I didn't know you were talking about whole handhelds. My favorite old bowling game we had when I was a kid, which is totally mechanical.
Is it Candlepin?
It is. Doesn't matter. It's completely mechanical. No, it's not chemical. You pull it back, and it has a little light LED, and you hit a button to release it, and then you hit a second button to make it start going towards the middle and the curve. And it would literally, it's a little pin in there, and if you do it just the right timing, it'll push different buttons back, and it coverage over the 10 lights to show how many pins you pull.
That is cool. I don't think I had a lot of handhelds. I don't think I have any of them except for those Bambino ones, which were my favorite.
We all remember those.
Oh yeah, I had that.
Yeah, which again is mechanical.
Yep.
So I found
Joe, welcome. Oh, there you go. Oh,
it's a Coleco electronic quarterback.
Coleco version.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nita, how are you? That's my buddy Nita.
Oh, there's the hockey game.
Oh, look at that.
Hockey. Yeah.
Now, is it true that the Canadian government handed one of those out to every family, Pete?
Well, that was what came with when the child is born. One was delivered in the hospital.
Here's your baby, and here's your
Canadian mountain.
Head hockey, and you got a stick and a puck with it too. No helmets. Well, not until the 90s.
That's funny. No one's mentioned Pong until Nita did, and yeah, Pong was. I loved Pong. I still like the original because even some of the more modern versions don't quite nail it. Where when you're moving the little paddle, you do it just right. It goes off at an angle.
Yeah, I've got an angle.
So much Pong in the variation. Yeah, there was a ton of Pong.
Yeah,
like like Atari 2600. What was it? Video Olympics.
Yeah,
all versions of Pong.
That's right.
Oh,
here's actually my favorite handheld I ever got is right here, though. Actually,
thank you. I'm so glad you love it.
Thank you, Stuart. Stuart sent this to me. It's awesome.
I've got one too.
I got one too.
Wait a minute, is yours different?
It is. They had two different styles. They had a wide one and this one.
Ah.
Yeah. I think somebody else got one of these. So.
Oh yeah, okay.
Maybe Lance or JD, one of them.
They were kicking these things out so much a couple years ago, like they were available everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think maybe I found an article on this. Remember Pac-Man 2? No.
Nope.
Then check it out. It was a blue and black handheld. So it says, when I was 8, my dad got me a handheld version of Pac-Man. This was the first for a few reasons. First, it was 1981, and the world was still firmly in the grip of Pac-Man fever. So the idea that I'd be able to play Pac-Man whenever I wanted was a pretty incredible idea. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
You know, at our age, that's what we're talking about. You know, it's like, wow, I can play this game at home. Does it look the same? No. Maybe it looks better to me, or maybe it just looks different, but I don't care.
Yeah. I don't think any of us expected it to look the same because, I mean, how would it? Wouldn't make any sense.
Right.
Emma Jade, she would go with Game Boy and Wario Land. Oh, Wario Land's really good.
Yeah.
And on that note, she's the first one to mention that. Emma Jade, what were we talking about earlier today, Jeff?
It's the 35th anniversary of Game Boy, of when it launched. And the reason I found out is, you know, I hardly use Facebook, but I had a little notification pop up and it said, you know, something you did years ago. And so I look, and I posted 10 years ago, the 25th anniversary.
Wow. Yeah, that's right. Wow.
Pong was built into our big furniture TV. Built in. Wow.
I never knew they did that.
And you can lift up the lid and there's a turntable in it. What?
Yeah. It was one of those big console units and turntable in the middle.
My grandma had a big console thing like that. It was a piece of furniture, but there was no TV. It was literally it was radio, 8-track, and a turntable.
Wow.
And it was cool because it was so huge and had these big speakers on the end. Whenever I'd go over to listen to the Cardinal game, we'd use that and we'd crank that up.
Hell yeah.
That was pretty cool.
I can remember as a kid, we had one of the same things. Like that was our stereo, right? It was and there was room for like 20 or 30 albums to slide down in the side
and ruin each other.
Huh?
And ruin each other as they grind together as it drops. And then
true. But I mean, just in the sleeves, there's a place to store them when you took them off the turntable is what I meant. But they were designed so you could put 5 records on. It would drop one, play, and then the next one would drop down on top of it.
Yep. I mean, it's pretty special.
I remember going to look for that, like about 15, 20 years ago, see if it was still at my parents' place somewhere, and it's long gone. I have no idea where it went.
Spent many times at the arcade in the mall, laundromat, local convenience store. Thank you for mentioning that, Fastback. It was a time when you like there was a dairy down the street from me that had I've mentioned it before. It had asteroids. That's where I flipped the machine. I flipped the score, and my buddy unplugged the machine. And then they had New York was another game that they had. So it was a little dairy down the street. And, you know, we'd go there and I'd hang out because the cute woman that worked there and play video games. But you could go so many places. I go to my favorite record store over in Peoria, and there was a little Italian carryout place with just a couple of booths to sit down and eat if you wanted. And they had Ripoff, which was another vector style game that I loved. And, you know, it's true, Fastback, all the different places we could go. And then I'd go to an arcade at the mall and we'd play. And it was just so wild, you know.
Fastback says there his favorite all time was Super Tecmo Bowl.
There you go, buddy.
Oh my God, man, after my own heart. Because of course, in my last year of university, this is when it came out. We loved Tecmo Bowl, and I drove down here, picked it up one day, and took it back to university. It was a second term, and I went in residence my last year of university just to have fun, basically, because I was sort of getting in there, you know, gliding in without too much difficulty. And we used to set up tournaments where we run it through to the playoffs, and then everybody throw in $2 and pick a team.
I want my $2.
Take it all, huh?
I want my $2.
Oh well, gee, that was $24 in 1992. Are you kidding me? That was like friggin' over 12-pack of beer.
I just watched that movie. I just watched that movie not long ago where he's like, I want my $2.
Oh, but yeah, that was so much fun. Oh yeah, Super Tecmo Bowl is amazing. I still play it a lot to this day. And watch the channels on it. Get the updated rosters. It's phenomenal.
Well, Salvatore posted something interesting. His gaming order history.
Cool.
Atari and television. C64 I didn't do. What's the SMS?
Sega Master System.
Oh, the Sega Master System.
Yeah, I never had one of those. I never even saw one in a store. I don't even remember them being out at the time.
Yeah. I had Atari, played it in television because my neighbor had it down the way. And then went to the NES, I guess.
One of Drew's favorite games, Bart Simpson's Escape from Camp Deadly.
Neat. Stacks of wax.
Every 7-Eleven had 2 arcade machines. Ooh, Salvador had nickel arcades.
Nice.
Pizza Hut, pizza places with video games.
The cocktail tables, right?
Yes. Jeff had one.
It's in my dining room.
Yep.
Is that where you eat your dinner?
Yep. Put my drink right there and go to town.
Somebody feed me. I'm almost flipping it over.
Asteroids Deluxe, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little laundromat near my aunt's house in the 70s, and the owner was a pinball nut. So he had a room in the side with the 3 pinball machines and maybe Pac-Man. We had a convenience store where I bought my first comic books, and they had the old fishing pinball machine.
Oh, yes.
So I used to love playing that too.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It was all about quarters then for me, because quarter would buy you a comic book, quarter would get you a game of pinball, you know. Local 7-Eleven would have games, but it was the first place I played Dragon's Lair, Metal Torso. I almost said that, even though I thought paying 50 cents to play an arcade game. Yeah. That was BS. Yeah, I hear you. I was like, how much? What? And I suck at it. That's the problem. So I sucked at it. I'm like, I'm paying twice as much.
Her favorite arcade games, Revolution X and Primal Rage.
Nice.
Every home port of them.
Wow. They closed the laundromat and made it a small arcade. They made a killing with the neighborhood kids. That's smart. Instead of cleaning your clothes, they cleaned out their pockets.
Yeah, Salvatore's only missing the 32X for Sega anyway.
And what's so sad is at one time you could get that for like $10.
Yeah.
Right.
I got it, and it was
$20.
Yeah. Friend had everything, and I would play Sega Master System there. PC.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Playing Stun Cycle at Shakey's Pizza. How about that?
Oh. Wow. I'd have to remember that game. I know the name, but I'm sure I played it.
It's basically just Evel Knievel. You're on a bike and you rev it up, and you control the speed with your the right hand there, and you just try to jump buses, and every time you make a jump, you get another one added. And you got to try to land just right without flipping around and killing yourself.
Speaking of which, have you guys seen is it a Facebook thing or a YouTube thing? Somebody is doing all kinds of stunts with the old Evel Knievel crank bikes.
No.
Oh yeah. There's somebody out there constantly making quick little films they're doing jumps and ramps and everything with the Evel Knievel toy. So
I had that when I was a kid. I wish I still did.
Yeah, me too. I still have, I might step away for a second. I think you guys have seen it though. I got to remember where it is. I still have my rocket from the canyon jump. Well, the canyon mishap, should we call it?
Yeah, Stunt Canyon or whatever. Or
yeah.
Snake Canyon.
Snake Canyon. Very good. Yeah, that's it. You are on. I had a question, but I'm going to save it for now. That deals with this and kind of where we were going earlier. I don't want to push us out of where we are with. Pitfall was one of my huge favorites growing up. I played the crap out of that game.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that was awesome.
We were talking about Pitfall last night. Who was it? Emma Jade? Emma, were you saying that Pitfall was one of your favorites? Last night in the stream, we got playing Pitfall.
That wouldn't surprise me. Emma and I see eye to eye on lots of things like that.
I like anyway.
The Evel Knievel funny car.
We're totally over his head. But she likes Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah. Snake River Canyon. You know, as far as I was concerned, there was nothing like Big Jim stuff too. I mean, there's Lance. Yeah. What's up, brother?
Hey, Lance.
I had lots of that stuff. I played a lot of Pitfall, says Drew. Yeah. And Drew, I still love that artwork you got going there. The guy that shoots those Evel Knievel jump video. Thank you, PJ. Oh, it does an amazing job. Yes. Super slow-mo. Yes, that's right. So cool. Absolutely. I dig them. I'm like, dude, she does like Pitfall.
There you go. Yeah. We were talking about it last night, I think, when we were playing it.
And I shouldn't even get into it. Not even loved Pitfall, football, drag racing on 2600.
Yeah.
Drag racing. I forgot about drag racing. Hit that like button. Thank you, Lance.
Like button hit. I hit the like button.
Lots of love going around. Lots of love going around. Gotta love that. Papa, you mean Rise of Skunk Walker? Yeah. Nice one, Fastback. Thank you. That's good. No. Rise of Sky Fudger. But I didn't say fudge. Ooh! That's sassy, girl.
Ouch.
Right. Oh, DJ ask. There you go.
There it is. Ask. And here, let me put that on the
and it does work because I did a video on this last year.
Yeah.
And I remember I turned it on and there was like a big pause, and then boom, it came on. Crazy. I just went I turned the camera off because I went to go grab it right behind me. And when I did, the shelf collapsed.
So I like the controller, says Torso.
Wait, who said they liked Dragster?
Chris. Fastback.
Yeah,
Dragster's such an interesting game because it's wait, why am I on here? Because it is literally like 6 seconds long. It's such a short game. We just play it over and over.
Everybody's well aware of the fact right now. What is it? 5.11 is an impossible time to get, and it was a world record for 20 years, so they took it away from him. Yeah. Todd Rogers was the man's name.
Todd Rogers.
Oh, Lance says he sent pictures of.
Oh, I didn't even see. Oh, this is the arcade game now. I've never even seen the arcade game. See, it's got the basically Atari just took the handles.
Yeah.
And made it its own system. Here, let's even better look at it right there.
So, Jeff, your son does 3D printing.
Yes.
And I thought this was really interesting. Speaking of games you used to, games that we consider now retro, it's so strange how fast time goes. And you're just like, all of my hair metal is, since it took place in the 80s, now it's an oldie, which just, that's not right. But Logan had a game for which he lost the back door, right? Well, his sister-in-law's husband started 3D printing, and he just printed him a new one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he found all kinds of stuff like that.
Yeah, he found a graphic of it out there and a file that he could use. So I'm like, interesting. I also have to get a hold of him because he printed me out a Iron Maiden flower pot. I'm weird, but one of my early favorites was Riddle of the Sphinx on the 2600.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That's not a common game you hear people talk about.
The Magic.
It was pretty difficult. Kind of like abstract. It was pretty abstract is a good way to put it.
That sounds exactly how people describe you, Pete.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, actually.
I knew you would.
Yeah.
That's why I said it.
Yeah. Just can't quite figure that guy out.
And there's no reason to try.
No.
He's just so fun the way he is. 3D printing is very useful. It's really cool. I want to get into it. I really want to get into it.
Very hot.
Are the PS2 and Wii considered retro now? I guess they're long dead.
Yeah, I mean, and Pete, this is no time to be modest. I was thinking about the PlayStation 2. I saw an article, something. I think I sent that to you guys about PlayStations, but I got to thinking about the PlayStation 2 recently because I was talking to somebody about, again, I think I've mentioned on here before, just how popular the PS2 still was when the PS3 came out. Strange.
Oh, PS2 lasted like 10 years. It was nuts.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because I saw Toy Story 3. When I finally bought a PS2 used, then I saw the Toy Story 3 was made for it. Because I loved it because there were so many freaking great games to buy that were cheap, brand new. So
Fastback went to 3D printer for his 50th birthday. Unfortunately, he's only 35. But he's planning ahead.
And just remember, if you haven't grown up by the age of 50, you don't have to.
Damn it, 15 years.
I love my PS3. I played that so much.
Oh, me too. Me too. Yeah. You know, the sad thing is well, it's not like we had a lot of time to do it. We just got together with family over the weekend, and my nephew, I got to thinking, whenever we're together, he and I really need to take advantage of playing the survival level on Uncharted 2, because we're local. We're right there in the same room and we could do it together. Because you can't do it online anymore. So
I'd like to do an 8-player Nintendo World Championship. Because they can have up to 8 players at once.
So I guess I got to buy that.
That would be crazy. 8 people in the room all playing together.
Hey, crazy 8s.
Crazy.
Crazy insane. I was nuts for the girl. Sorry. I always have to do that. Little weird science. That's another thing too. Who mentioned Dragon Slayer earlier?
Oh, Saboteur, maybe.
That's what I thought. But that's
Fastback turns 50 on Saturday.
Happy birthday, then, Chris! Holy cow!
Yeah,
The big 5-0.
That.
Are those all DVDs, Stuart?
Yeah.
Are those for the games?
Yeah, they're the DVD versions that they put out decades ago.
Yeah, so you play with the remote.
Mm-hmm.
Very neat.
So it was great to, again, that was going to be my joke. Could you imagine you play Dragon Slayer and then they make one for the Atari 2600? That definitely doesn't look the same.
Someone posted a meme on Facebook. 50 in the 80s was Rue McClanahan. 50s is now Jennifer Aniston.
That's pretty amazing.
The new 50 is good.
Reminds me of the picture there where they show 54 years old, and they show Wilford Brimley, and they show Paul Rudd.
That's weird. I mean, what did Brimley look like when he was 10? Did he look like he was in college or something?
I'm older now than Wilford Brimley was when he was in Cocoon.
He must have been 10 with a big old mustache.
Yeah, he did Cocoon and The Natural. I believe came out the same year. And yeah, we're older than him, and he looks like he's in his mid 70s. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Is he still around? Or did he die?
Don't know. I think we've asked this question before, and I've had to go look.
Oh yeah,
go look.
I think we ask it every year.
every year.
Is he alive?
Died August 1st, 2020.
Yeah.
So
I'm thinking maybe he'd.
No.
I was thinking maybe he'd be like Dave Vigoda, or Dave Vigoda looked like he was 80 for about 30 years.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
I was going to make a joke that he looked younger when he died than he did when he.
Happy birthday, Fastback.
Yep.
Fastback.
Drew had Dragon's Lair on the Jaguar CD. Wow. Do you still have the Jaguar in the CD player, Drew? Because that would be really cool to have. I had a Jaguar. I never had the CD, though.
That's
Remember
a
was in the
moment.
thing?
Yeah. Yeah. Strapped to this fucking couch.
There's a Dragon's Lair 3 DVD. It's computer graphics and not too good.
And not too good. Burnley must have been born with gray
and a mustache.
The Benjamin Button. Dragon's Lair on Blu-ray also. Nice. Yeah, I love having a game that, like that, where it's going to look like it did off of the machine, and and then just have all the, time to play it. You never have to throw in a quarter. Somewhere at your parents' house. All right. And more happy birthdays from Junebug.
Oh, you got this Jaguar and the CD at your parents' house. How are they enjoying
it? He goes there. They're always playing it.
When are they going to put out
Dragon's Lair is on the Switch. That's right. I was just noticing that recently, but damn, it's like expensive, isn't it?
Dragon's Lair?
For a physical copy of that?
Oh, probably because it came out on limited run.
Yeah, because I was looking on Amazon. It's like $250.
I've got it right over there somewhere.
Still have
Doesn't
my
it
Dragon's
come with
Lair
all 3 games?
CD. Grainy, but still Dragon's Lair. Yep.
J-Man, how you doing? You were in my stream earlier today.
J-Man.
Thanks for coming back.
What's going on?
Look at all these people on stream. Yep.
Damn straight. And one of our new ones, Gale Force. I remember the back of video games boxes in general showing the arcade version. When you get a hose made from crayons.
Yeah. Artist rendition.
Yeah.
Well, it's like those cool paintings on the Atari boxes.
Yes.
And you open it up and it's just like stick figures. Like, what happened?
Berserk. You're like, oh, this is awesome. Oh, okay. Just Dad liked the Jaguar. He did tell me he hooked it up a while back. Not sure where he hid it. Dragon's Lair on the Commodore Amiga. Where'd you go, Sweet Pea?
Just as frustrating as the arcade. I've never enjoyed the game. I just can't get past it. I don't know what the deal is. It's not like there's a lot going on, but
yeah.
I
beat the first one, but
what was everyone's favorite game?
So some of them that have come up, J-Man, is some of them so far. Pitfall we talked about. A lot of them from childhoods, but are you talking about like overall favorite games? I'm an Uncharted fan. I'm a huge Uncharted fan. I love playing those games. I've played them on the hardest levels.
Drew loved Karnov growing up.
I like Karnov a lot too, Drew. I have beaten Karnov back in the day, but certainly not able to do it anymore.
Yeah. So overall,
Yeah, that's a tough one to come up. I'll tell you what. One of my tops definitely is Saturn Bomberman. I love that game.
There you go. Yeah,
it's got a great one-player game, but you can also play with a second person.
Mm-hmm.
And the multiplayer is the absolute best.
Yeah,
it's terrific. Saboteur, do you have Saturn Bomberman? I can't remember. I know you got a lot of Saturn. I know you have the ROM.
It is tough, Gale Force. I mean, that's like, it's like going down the line of what's your favorite band or what's your favorite movie or,
Time and mood changes a lot.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, for
Do
sure.
any of us have a PS5? Pose that to the chat as well. I do not. I have a PS4.
Yeah.
I have an Xbox Series S, but I do not have a PS5. And the reason was twofold: price, and there haven't been enough games on there that makes me just want to go out and buy one.
And also, you got to figure out where to put it. It's freaking huge.
I was going to get one, but then I found out you couldn't play Tron Deadly Disc on it, so I thought I'd wait for a better version that come up to that level that would be able to play that the Intellivision games.
You're waiting for it to be packed in?
I'm waiting for it to pack in. Yeah. So if it can't play Tron Deadly Disc, they really need to do some work.
Oh,
there you go. Torso's got a PS5. J-Man.
There you go.
Yeah, it's just too expensive for me right now. It's just nuts. I mean,
I
got the Series S for like half the price of or maybe less than a PS5. It's just
you all collect and don't have a PS5. Well, I mean, again, a lot of it is about a lot of it right now for me is about time. I mean, I have a lot of games that I still have to play from other systems, and if I just bought a PS5, I don't know why I would. Just me personally, I would like to have one. Don't get me wrong.
Sure.
That, if somebody walked up and said, "Do you want a PS5 for $200?" I'd be like, "Hell yeah!" And I'm not saying that it's too expensive. I don't know. Maybe it's worth it. Maybe I don't. But it would just sit here. It would just sit here with all the other systems that I have and all the things that I've got going on right now. It would just sit here.
Yeah, if you ask me, do I want one? Yeah, I would love to have one because I like to play that new. What's that little robot game that's coming out? It was in VR. Astrobot. I'd love to play that. And yeah, J-Man, I'd love to play that with that controller because it looks pretty cool.
Has J-Man, have you played that game? Has it come out yet? Is it coming out?
Yeah, Astrobot. I don't think it's come out yet. I don't know. I think it's still coming out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even play my Series S that much.
It's too expensive. Yeah. I mean, it just depends, like we say, everybody's life is a little different. So expensive to one person, whatever your needs are or whatever your budget is, it's one of those things.
That was the first one, J-Man. Isn't that the first one? Do you know when the new Astrobot's coming out? I could always just buy their controller. Use it on my PC. I don't know if it would handle all the features, though. Yeah, I mean, it looks great. It just...
Yeah, my buddy's got one. Like I say, everybody's life is a little different. It's
September 7th. Okay, it's right around the corner. Yeah, that game looks really cool.
Yeah. If I was younger and I was just buying systems like I did years ago, then yeah. But I'll hopefully. Do you think that the price will ever come down?
Not anytime soon. I mean, there's rumors of a PS5 Pro.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe the current PS5 will drop in price, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I may put together a little bank of money to get it whenever it goes down or something like that.
The problem with Xbox and PlayStation, they've been doing that, didn't do it yet, and it's pretty late in the cycle to do it, but I guess they're still gonna do it, is when they do that like 3 years in new model.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now this one's really good. This one's a lot better than that crap one we just sold you
right
3 years ago, and it pisses me off.
For a half a grand.
I had a PS4, it was great, and then they came out with a better one.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden the game's coming out for it didn't run as well on the original one. Like, oh, it's almost like he just made my purchase worse somehow.
Right. Yeah. I find when it comes to that kind of an expense, I'm better to just wait. you know.
Oh, anyway, Salvatore's games here on C64. Infocom Text Adventures, The Witness, Planetfall, Zork, Leather Goddesses of Phobos. Interesting, wow. Salvatore.
That sounds sexy. Leather Goddesses of Phobos.
Torso plays his Series X way more than his PS5.
Hmm.
Is that because of Game Pass, Torso, or do you just like the other games better?
Right, because of the games. Zork, yes.
My Saturn, Nintendo 64, Sega Genesis, 32X CD get played more than my Xbox S. Yeah, I mean, what I've played on this Xbox, the Series S, I like it, but there's just, I don't know. There's just not a ton there for me. Yeah, it's not dropping in price. Like I said, maybe the original one, if they come out with a new one.
Yeah.
Unless the new one comes out at like $100 more or something, then it won't. Yeah.
Well, and if it's that good of a system, I'll just buy it used from somebody. Like I've done, you know, I did that with my PS2. I did that with my PS3. You know, it has better exclusive than Xbox. I'd say, yeah, I'm a PlayStation fan. I never went any further with an Xbox. I got the original and that was it. Never went any further.
Man, the 360 is probably one of my favorite systems ever. That thing was so good.
I heard the original was a good system.
You ever played it, Pete?
I think so, but I'm not sure.
What are those things behind your head?
Bomb squad. La squad tactique.
What if we found out that all these games Pete has behind him just came with the house? He doesn't really collect anything. They just came there. They were just there when he got there.
Yeah.
I could just see your wife step into that room and go, "Oh, well, I guess we'll take it."
I'm more afraid of them all going with the house. You just be leaving those there.
Older systems were pick up and play, whereas PS4, all the PS4, latest Xbox.
I hate it if you decide to play a game and you can't play it for a half an hour and then you don't bother to play it.
Right.
I like being able to pick up a game and play for 10 minutes and be done.
Yeah.
Just occasionally, right?
Yeah. And J-Man, my life's going to be changing a little bit coming up down the line, and I'll be playing some more. Maybe that's when I'll be looking to get the next PlayStation. So, you know, that's
J-Man, I played the original. I have the original for GameCube. It's fantastic. I have not played the remake yet. But I can't imagine it's any less than fantastic still.
It's one for Pete.
Okay, this is a weird one. Okay, and I'm going to go right back to when I had it back in 2004, 5, whatever, when I picked it up.
And I'm going to go back to what I said earlier. You're a weird one.
The two games that I played the most, that I enjoyed the most back at that time, were MVP 2005 baseball. I love sports games. I always have, I always will. And the other one was Spider-Man 2, because Spider-Man 2 is just an amazing game. Now, that's why I like also the new Spider-Man version. I don't have the Miles Morales one, but I do have the Spider-Man one with the PS4. And I remember my PS4 that I got the Spider-Man edition, is I had a video on it. I ended up giving it to my kid. And this guy right here sent me another one to replace it. So I've played some Spider-Man on it too since then. So that's awesome. Thank you for that, by the way, bud.
Yeah, my pleasure.
But so Spider-Man 2, and those all go back to this. I've played a ton of great games on that sense, but I'll always go back to the roots.
Pete, did you ever play Magic: The Battlegrounds?
I have not.
Magic Battleground. I know I told you before. That's one of my favorite games on that system.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, it's not a masterpiece or anything, but if you like Magic, it's so much fun. It's like the card game coming to life, basically. And it's really neat. It's a fun 2-player game.
Have you guys? I'm always embarrassed when nobody has said, when I haven't played, asked what games have you played? Have you played this game? No, here I have friggin' right now 3 shy of the set, right? So, have you played this? No, I haven't played it. That's part of the reason I'm doing this gameplay series, which I did the latest episode beforehand. So maybe when I get to the M's, I've just finished the B's in my gameplay videos. I'll have to get you to teach me how to play that, to play it, to set up. That'll be pretty cool, Jeff.
Yeah, it's a fun game.
You guys ever played? Have you guys ever played Minecraft? I've never touched it.
Yeah, I got it. Was it an alpha? I mean, it was years and years ago when they first started it. I played it. I didn't like it. I mean, it wasn't a game for me.
Right.
But I knew my kids would love it. It was pretty obvious it was going to be a great game. Yeah. It's something I don't want to really play. So I got them both copies of it way back then, before the official launch. I guess it was an alpha and then beta for years. So they got to play it from really early on, and they both loved it. I mean,
that's cool.
Same here. I little tiny bit with the kids, but never was really my shtick either. And but both of my kids were all over it.
Did you see
MJ? They played it a lot.
Did you see they added Tetris as DLC for Minecraft?
What?
It looks pretty cool. I wish it was a standalone, because I'm not buying Tetris for. Or I'm not buying Minecraft for Tetris, but I wish I had it.
Ultima is one that I forgot all about. That I never played it, but that was huge. I can still see the font.
Was that the series that was made by a husband and wife team?
Oh, I don't know.
Wasn't that by Garriott? Lord Ultima or Lord Garriott or whatever?
Yeah, maybe. I know there was a husband and wife team back
King's
then.
Quest is what you're thinking of. Roberta and the Williams. Roberta Williams and what was his name? They made the King's Quest series. Plus, they had Sierra. The Sierra was their thing, and I think Ultima was a Sierra game, was it not? But
Spider-Man 64. I don't even know that game. I didn't know it existed.
I'm trying to remember what it is.
All right, Pete. What Dead or Alive game is this?
Dead or Alive? Oh, yeah,
beach volleyball.
That's exactly what it is.
All right,
almost. Yep. Where the hell did it go?
My favorite Sega Saturn game is Magic Carpet.
We love that you're weird there, Seth.
I played Half-Life, Age of Empires, and Tribes in late 2000s.
There you go.
Yeah.
I played so many Sierra games.
Yeah, they were great. They were great. I played them on the PC. My brother-in-law used to really like those as well. I did a lot of the King's Quest games and Police Quest and various games like that. So
Lord British was the Ultima guy.
Lord British was the Ultimate guy. That's it. What wasn't his name? Why am I thinking of Richard Garriott?
Extreme Beach Volleyball 1 and 2. Crushed her brother. Carpet is one of the best.
It's hard to concentrate on the volleyball in that game.
Is it a volleyball game, Pete?
Well, that's the rumor.
Where is that, Pete? You have the.
I gotta find it here now.
That was always one of my favorite games when I was doing the reviews and stuff for the newspaper. Was the volleyball on the NES? Super Spike. Yeah,
that's a great game.
Oh yeah.
Only on Xbox.
Only on Xbox.
Wow. Yeah. Speaking of Spider-Man, too, one of my favorite all-time, right next to Superman for the 2600 was Spider-Man, the Parker Brothers Spider-Man. That was so cool.
The Parker Brothers one you liked?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Some people don't like that game. I always loved it, but some people do not like that game.
I mean, it goes back to it had jiggle physics, said Metal Torso, right?
Yeah, it did.
So, I mean, it goes back to the fact that you're like, there you go, buddy. That's what I'm talking about. That's Ross Andrews' artwork on the front there.
That is cool, and that's the very first ever Spider-Man video game. So
yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Now, is your box like a regular box?
No, it's a like a board game box.
Yeah, like a board game box. Yeah. Yeah. But
want a cat?
And Coco's like, want a YouTuber?
Oh, I'll also tell that story, Pete. I was at our local grocery store here, Deerberg's, and I was with my son. We came out, we put the stuff in. I went to go push the cart back, and there was some kid. He was getting all the carts. And he goes, "Here, I'll take that." And I said, "Okay." So I pushed it to him, and I was wearing Pete's shirt, the one that's a circle.
Yeah.
Like there's the one that has the Santa hat. And he stopped and looked at me, and he goes, "Papa Pete?" I said, "What?" And he goes, "Papa Pete?" I was like, "Oh yeah, my shirt." I said, "Yeah, it's a friend of mine." And he just kind of looked at me and he goes, "Is it at a YouTube channel?" And he's just like, he just kept repeating about YouTube. Okay. And they walked away. I'm like,
Oh,
I texted Pete. I said, I think I got you a new sub.
I got a new sub. I want a new sub.
It's better than going, he's my friend. And they look at you and go, yeah, and he owes me money.
Emma misses Ninja Gaiden 1 through 3 on the NES, the trilogy on Super Nintendo, and the newer ones on Xbox and PlayStation. Okay, but the 2D ones really test your skill. Yeah, it's a whole different game, isn't it? Going from 2D to 3D.
Yeah. It's one of those situations. I go back to it every time. I don't have the skills anymore. I have to rebuild all those skills.
It's hard. Yeah.
You know, even to play Bionic Commando on the NES.
I played that last year. I couldn't do anything. I'm like, what? I was like, I used to get pretty far in this game. What happened?
I beat the game in 2 hours. You learn which communicator color goes to what area, and you're like, okay, they don't match in this way. They just match this way. But you're like, and and then I beat it again, and I'm like, cool. And then now I'm like, okay, one little pellet kills me. I'm like, okay, wait. All right.
What's weird about Adventure? I had that as a kid. So it's probably like 82 or so, or 83, whenever it came out. But I remember getting the little pixel and going into the room and seeing Warren Robinette's name. I don't remember how I knew that. I guess I must have read it in a magazine months later after it came out. But even magazines weren't that many video game magazines back then.
No.
There was a few.
Not too many.
Yeah. Not like the 90s when there was a ton of them.
Yeah.
So I don't remember how I knew. I assume from a magazine, but that was so cool.
Yeah, being from Central Illinois, I mean, I didn't, Nintendo Power was the first magazine I ever noticed.
Did you guys ever get many video game magazines?
Nintendo Power, I got that.
I used to buy a lot.
I think I had a subscription to one of the other ones.
I had before Nintendo Power, the real old ones. I still have a couple. Electronic games and joystick.
What's funny, the old Nintendo Power, it was basically like advertisements.
Yeah,
they pretty much loved everything that Nintendo did. But later on, before they quit, it had turned into like a legit good magazine. They would have criticisms were needed, and so when they went out of business, I was like, oh, that really stinks. They finally became really good.
Yeah. Oh, and I have that one, and I've got this one.
That's cool. I think I probably way back then probably read more EGM than anything. I did some Game Pro, but I loved EGM's reviews because they had like a main review, and then they had like 4 little boxes of different reviewers, and they each gave their own score, and they each said a little bit about the game. So it really allowed you to figure out if that game was for you or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stargroove was just flipping through the Nintendo Power with the Street Fighter 2 cover today.
Well, that's trippy.
Yeah, that's the one with E Honda, right?
Huh.
If you match up all the Nintendo Powers covers, it makes a big Zelda picture on the side.
What?
If you stacked them up at end.
Yeah.
Yeah,
could have been
that's pretty cool.
kind of like Megadeth's remastered CDs, how it all makes a rattlehead on the side.
Yeah.
You know, because that's so similar. But I mean,
I also used to get Game Fan, which is a really neat magazine.
oh,
Yeah.
Game Fan. God,
because
yeah.
they did. That was the only magazine I knew of at the time that dealt with Japanese imports.
Yeah.
Oh,
They talked a lot about Japanese imports, so it was really cool to have.
Which that was the beauty of CES, going to those shows, because you know all the magazines are there, and you're just grabbing a copy of this one and that one, and you know, kind of nice. That's just like it, Vikings too. That's it's exactly the same. Oh man.
Yeah, the guy that ran Game Fan did another magazine. I think it may have been Play. That's the right one. His reviews are always controversial because he would have some games he absolutely loved and everyone else is kind of just hated. Like there was a Wario game on the DS that nobody liked, but he loved it. I got it. I thought it was pretty good myself. Yeah, Game Fan was cool. There were so many magazines in the 90s. That was a great era for magazines.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go to the store now and that poor little magazine selection. It's just terrible.
yeah.
It's so sad.
You know what it means? You know what it really means? That we're old.
Oh,
hey, Celia.
CC Mental is here.
Let me see if I can.
That means she must have just got off work. She's been working like crazy today.
Oof.
Yeah, Electronic Gaming Monthly was one I liked as well.
Yes, I think that's the one I had the subscription to.
Is that there was a magazine before that called something like Electronic Games something. It wasn't EGM, but it was really close.
I gotta find it. There's one down here somewhere, but
I actually have a copy of Pete's going in. Oh, there goes Coco. I thought she was trying to go in too.
Somebody's got to hold the rope.
I remember how Game Fan called first-person shooter games corridor games. You know what's really interesting? If you really go back, like to Atari and Odyssey, like even before in television, like old stuff like that, the way they talked about games in magazines is so different now. Yet all the language was different. It's kind of funny to go back, like even on I think Atari did it a few times, but like the old Odyssey 2 was the weirdest thing. Some games you would use the left controller and some use the right controller. So it wasn't even settled yet as to which controller you would use for one-player games. They were just... Pete's going through his nudie magazines right now.
Oh, it's going to be a while then.
We don't have all night, Pete.
We may not get him back. We may not want to get him back.
Dale Jr.
So I found a list. There's like, you know, obviously I'm just going to read these out loud because some of these I know aren't what we're thinking, but PC Gamer, Gaming, Game Room Magazine, CG Magazine, Game Fan, Amiga Action, EGM2, Official Nintendo Magazine, Game Informer, Electronic Gaming Monthly, Nintendo Power, Comics Gaming Magazine, Retro Gamer.
I had to put Pete in a timeout.
Nobody understood that one but you.
Game Pro Gamer.
That's for Stuart.
It's about as close as I can get. What's for me?
Star Wars People Magazine. Hey, Nintendo for Retrosec is here, and I love your picture there for Retrosec. It's great. In case you guys don't know it, for Retrosec is killing it over there on the Nintendo World Championships. He's been posting his high scores on the Discord server, and he's unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Proud mama moment, getting off work to a home cooked dinner from my childhood. Yeah, Nathan puts my mom's adobo to shame.
Wow.
His chicken adobo was very good. Papa Pete magazine after dark. Pete, you have some joystick magazines, don't you?
Well, I have one, and I have Electronic Games magazine too, which you were just talking about. Is why I said I was going in. But
I think I have one of those from like 1980, 81. I mean, it's really old.
Yeah, and that's what I got it from too. I have PDFs of them both as well, which I found online. But it was the joysticks one was Complete Home Guide to Video Games 1981 or something like that, and it was all friggin' Atari 2600 to television. Before there was a couple Coleco, maybe it was just as ColecoVision was coming out, and there was even like Odyssey 2 games. I think Casey Munchkin or something was in it, right? That little period where it was still a valid game.
Yeah.
So it's kind of neat anyway, but I don't know where it is. I'm not going to find it, I guess, unfortunately.
For retrospect, you're way better than all of us in the Discord server. So, and for retrospect, he had one of his times last week. He was in the 0.8% of the top fall gamers. Not just his year, but like top. I was like, what? That is crazy.
Hey, there's Casey.
Casey's doing really good on those challenges as well.
Ooh, at a family birthday dinner, watching the show, huh?
Unfortunately.
Just put us on the tube, man.
Well, hopefully no one else is watching to see that comment, Casey. Stuck with my family again.
You guys get YouTube on your TV, right?
No, I have not shown off my birthday gift from you, CC Mental.
And
let
Pete,
me go. I'll go grab it.
I could just see that People magazine. They could just use the name of the magazine, People. There it is, the logo, and then People hate this movie. See, that's how they could just.
Yeah, I have a whole bunch of those. It's neat. I still like it. I still like anything Star Wars.
Oh well, yeah. Oh,
yeah. I don't know where those other magazines went though. I have such a mess here. I every time I look at it, I have to pick up and organize.
This is a family show, a family of silly people. I was going to say a family of fools, but not. I don't want to say that. Uh-oh. Look at that. Look at that. I don't know if that fits you, man.
PJ sent it to me. It's freaking beautiful. It fits perfectly.
Now it fits. There you go. Shame on you for picking family over. I thought we were your family. I need a box of tissues. I had Star Wars. I have Star Wars tissues upstairs. And then I have a Rise of Skywalker bag to throw up in.
All right, okay, one more.
That's what I'm going to need. I'm going to need a fresh batch of flight puke bags when I watch that movie. And your unauthorized purchase that you claimed I insisted you should get. I've had my wife tell me that stuff. Just get it.
I saw this at that unauthorized purchase was I saw it at Mo GameCon, and I didn't get it, and I ended up just getting it from Amazon.
Salvatore says, I remember a magazine called Compute. I would type in pages of lines of code.
Oh, yeah.
See 64 games and programs.
Salvatore, I did the same thing. I had a whole bunch of like Commodore 64 magazines. Oh, it includes a game. Yeah, you got to type it out. That was crazy back then.
And you did it. You did it.
Free game. It was so cool. It's like, oh, it's almost like you're making the game yourself.
So how about like the beginning of Big when he's playing that, computer game with the wizard and all that stuff?
The wizard.
Did you guys play some stuff like that? I never did. I
did, yeah. Like in the 90s, yeah.
You sit there and type in what you wanted to do.
Yeah, I can remember games like that. Yeah.
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 Yeah, I was never into that.
Way back when.
Oh. Last Jedi was Disney #2 in the trilogy for a reason. Yeah, that was bad.
Oh no, I'm knocking my camera. Crazy.
Yeah. Just, in case Casey's got everybody watching now on the big TV there. That's what I mean. I don't have to go much further than the beginning of that movie to tell you that's where I fell in hate with what they were doing with Star Wars. So
Makes you feel any better. I never liked Star Wars. So
there you go. There you go. Pete, what did you I'm sorry. I don't want to get into it. But what was your first thought when he chucked that lightsaber?
I was disappointed.
Yeah.
I was looking for that.
Mm-mm. I'm just like, really? We waited this whole time between movies. The first Force Awakens was okay, but
no, I agree 100%. All of a sudden, it's like build it, just destroy everything that was built in the
destroy
2 seconds. Yeah,
it was bad.
Yeah,
war games. I like that.
The big modem, they actually took the receiver off and had to plug it down in, right?
Yes, I literally just watched that movie.
All right, so Silly got me this.
Oh, look at that!
Ooh. Let me see if I can
Yoshi.
Let me see if I can turn it on. You know, I never know how these things are going to work because the camera sometimes it just is a blur.
Yeah, oh, I get you. Yeah. Hey, look at that Knack album up there, dude.
Yeah. All right, let me see if I can. Where's the thing to turn it on?
Yeah.
Where is it? Where is it?
Yes.
Oh, shoot.
Now, I'll say this. People have hate on for Solo. I like Solo and Rogue One and all the TV shows much better than Last Jedi or Rise of Skywalker, though. That looks great.
Look at that. Looks good, dude. I like it.
Yeah, you can actually see it.
You can.
And the color.
Now the color in person is way like brighter. Like
well, I bet. Yeah.
Well, okay, so he looks white outline. It's actually green, so it's not really showing up very well.
I get you.
Like everywhere, like his tail, all this stuff is green in person. But yeah, this will go in the the dining room next to the cocktail table.
Sweet.
Oh, cool. And by the Go Game Aquarium?
And by the Go Game Aquarium.
Oh, we got to get you back out by the Go Game Aquarium. I miss the Go Game Aquarium.
Me too.
Ah, the old days.
The old days a lot of people watching don't even remember because they're new.
Yeah. Oh man, that's great.
And then we got Nathan, a Shy Guy one. Same deal, same company.
Oh, that's cool.
That's his favorite character. I do love Shy Guy.
I do too.
He's interesting in that he's really never changed. I mean, you look at Mario, he's changed a lot. Yoshi's changed.
Mm-hmm.
But Shy Guy is pretty much the same as he was in Mario 2 all the way through. It's kind of it's very interesting. I guess it was a perfect design.
Absolutely.
Nintendo couldn't top it.
Why can't I think of the skeletal turtle?
Dry Bones?
Dry Bones, thanks. I was going to say Shy Guy and Dry Bones in the original Super Spike, the Mario Super Spike. Why can't I say it right? Strikers, I mean, and Strikers. They're really good characters to have on your team. They have some really cool extra moves, especially Dry Bones. He's got this little rolling disappear, reappear thing like Nightcrawler in X-Men. He just bloop, and then disappears and then bloop, reappears as he's rolling into the goal. It's great.
I love when they put those side characters in games like that.
Yeah. Shy Guy only changes on the inside.
Yeah.
That's a good one, Drew. That's a good one. Go Game Aquarium. Oh, I miss you too, Papa Pete.
Oh, nice.
Mouse has been taken over by Go Game Go paraphernalia.
And she loves it.
She loves it.
Every night she says, I can't believe how cool this house is now.
It has really taken on something beautiful. Besides just her.
I'm all Batman-y. All right, let's put it back.
Thanks for mentioning. That's one of my favorite things to think of when my camera gets askew. I'm Batmaning. When did Batman become a verb?
Tonight.
Oh man. So here, this is what I wanted to ask. This is a perfect time to ask it. So we talked about when we were kids. Now, when you've been playing some video games, you're moving into the other systems then, and we're a little older. What became when you started graduating into the next level? What were your favorite games then? And then say college and now.
Well, I went from NES straight to. I'm sorry, I went from Atari straight to NES, Genesis, and TurboGrafx, like all at the same time.
That's pretty much me too. You and that's when we got to know each other.
And man, we played. I know people don't like the game, but man, we played a ton of Joe Montana football.
Yep,
I had a lot of fun with that.
The original one.
Yeah. Not the sports talk one.
Shinobi was a big
sports talk too, and didn't like it.
Yeah. Shinobi was a big favorite of mine at that point.
I'll tell you, I love Sonic. Specifically, the very first level, Green Hill Zone. Yeah, I could play that over and over. Something about the way it looks and the music, everything is just perfect. That's like
the sounds and everything were really good in that game. Yeah,
like TurboGrafx, man. I played a lot of the golf game.
Oh, yeah.
Was that Power League Golf? What was that called?
Yeah, that's right.
Power League Golf, and then
I have it. It's right here. Somewhere.
Also, World Class Baseball.
World Class Baseball, yeah.
It's it's not the best baseball game, but it was pretty darn good, especially for its time. It was good.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it doesn't. I mean, it's not going to hold up as well today because there's a lot better stuff going on. But
it's got to start somewhere.
I did just play it not too long ago on my Analog Duo, and it was actually good. It was, like I said, it's not as good as some of the newer stuff, but it still held up pretty well.
Yeah.
Amazing. In Japan, they got like 4 of those.
Really?
And they were called Power League Baseball, I believe.
Special issue 16. To me, what? I guess you're twice as special as I am. Oh man, Golden Axe and Strider. I never got into Strider. I had it, but I didn't get into it as much. But Golden Axe, I love that game. Love it. I'm not listening to reincarnated crap. Refuse to acknowledge. Oh my god.
Oh, and TurboGrafx, I love Bomberman because it was 5-player.
Right.
It's unheard of. That was before Super Nintendo got that multi-tap. So for a while, the only way to play it 5-player was on TurboGrafx.
Oh, I'll grab these real quick because these are this is still one of my favorites. I'm still not great at it. I still make it to about the same spot. One day, this is going to be my my Dragon's Lair also. It's funny that it's called Monster Lair. But it's going to be that game that I just keep playing it until I get it right.
Poor Go Aquarium.
Fighting Street.
No, there's a terrible game right there.
Keith Courage.
Oh, Keith Courage. I feel like half that game was pretty good.
Yeah, I think that's probably about right. There you go.
Oh, Power Golf. Yeah, I forgot about that. That was a really good golf game as well.
Mm-hmm. And there you go.
Yep, had that. Had the short little squatty players. Generic baseball at its finest, though.
And I still love that.
Bloody Wolf.
With the Toto song in it.
I don't think I ever had Bloody Wolf. Oh, that is my favorite version
of that.
I love the music, the sound effects, graphics. It's all perfect.
And here's our classic favorite.
Yeah, Ordine. Oh, that is one of my favorites.
So good.
A shooter that has 2 people and you can go shopping. Crater Maze. That was based off an arcade game.
Huh. And there you go.
Final Lap Twin, a racer with some RPG stuff.
Gotta love it.
Yeah, Torso Dreamcast had so many cool games, so many weird games. I really miss those days. that year and a half of Dreamcast was about as good as it gets.
I think I need to do a typing of the dead old guys and old games.
Typing of the Dead?
I love that game. You have the original, right, Jeff?
I do. And the keyboard and the mouse.
I've got the keyboard and mouse and such and all the setup to do it. I have a copy of Typing of the Dead edition. I've played it many times. Love it.
If you got the line, I got the pull.
Huh?
If you got the line, I got the pull.
There you go.
I have not played that in a long time. So how does it work on? So if you emulate it on your computer, does the keyboard just take over?
I wouldn't emulate it. I'd use my Dreamcast and I'd just capture it with the Elgato.
Yeah. Well, I'm wondering though if you did emulate it, if you could just do it with your keyboard.
I don't know. I have some doubts that it would work.
I have my doubts.
Sega Bash fishing. Did you guys ever do fishing?
Yeah, I like
nothing but good things about it.
Yeah.
There's a cool fishing game on the Switch. It's Japanese. I think there's an English version though. It's called something like Angler Fishing Spirits. It's really strange. It's interesting though.
Emma, I like this.
Ooh, Batman, the Japanese import for TurboGrafx.
For TurboGrafx.
Oh, that's right. Oh, Emma, I played that. It's actually really fun.
Wow.
I forgot all about that.
How do I get that?
Emulation.
Oh, yeah, I'll have to do that.
I don't know if that's an expensive game. I mean, most of them are. Although it's Japanese only, it may not. MDK2 on Dreamcast. Absolutely fantastic.
Oh, yeah. So it looks like it's like a 3D Pac-Man.
Yes, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I did a video on that. I guess not. I think I may have just played it.
Huh.
Let me see. No, I did not do a video on that.
Okay, so it came out when the movie came out. It was 89, I guess. Because it's got the logo from the first movie. That's pretty wild. $270. Woof.
Yep.
What, Batman?
Lots of money there. Yep.
All right, that's the game I'll never get, but I can still play it on my Duo.
Duo. Absolutely. Wow.
You know, when emulation is so good for those old systems, it's like it really cuts down what I want to get for those systems. It's like, why would I ever pay $100 for a game when I can just emulate it?
Right.
It makes you start thinking more than, you know, if they didn't exist anywhere else, well, maybe I'd be more interested in collecting some stuff, but emulation saves you a lot of money.
What is this? TurboGrafx 16 PCE ROM and CD collection Dreamcast fan-made homebrew games.
I have no idea. What is that? TurboGrafx games and an emulator on a Dreamcast?
Yeah.
Like burned to a disc?
Yeah, for $20. On Etsy.
I don't know why you'd want to play TurboGrafx on
a
Dreamcast. That's
Dreamcast.
Weird.
Because you can for $20.
You know, even though the TurboGrafx controller, the Turbo Pad, is so simple, I just like using the original on my my Analog Duo so much better because everything just works right. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, I don't know if I said it on the show, but I did get my black Dreamcast working.
That's awesome.
Sweet.
And I did find a VMU that has a bunch of save files. I have a bunch of these laying around somewhere. I don't know where they're at though, that have save files on them. I continued a Choo Choo Rocket save file from 2001. on this thing.
Well, back in November of 2001, you turned off the game that day and says, I'll go back to that later. And now you have.
I have. I did it.
And now you have. Welcome
Man,
back.
have your word. You realize you were 32 when you played that?
Oh, that's a funny age between us, Pete. Because years ago we went to Six Flags.
Yeah.
And Jeff walked in with my wife at the same time. I don't know. I was falling behind. I don't know. They had to frisk me or something. I don't know. But they walk up and then there's this gal there who's doing pictures or something, or she's taking a survey or whatnot.
Yeah. And
she goes, so what are your ages? Jeff goes, she's 32 and I'm 23. And she goes, I am not.
It was only funny because she wasn't 32 back then. What would she have been? Like 20?
I mean, probably 26,
27?
Something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
That was a good joke.
And here you come up with 32. I'm 23. She's 32. I am not.
That joke has stood the test of time.
Test of time. And it remains now. It is here forever.
Kurt Bradshaw went to Six Flags today at
Shut
Hurricane
up,
Harbor.
Nice. How weird is that I mentioned it?
That was a hot one today. Hurricane Harbor was probably the good choice there.
Stargrove, that is, I love Quake 2, I think is what.
Oh, yes. Quake 3 Arena.
Yeah. That is that's really cool.
Oh, look at that.
There you go.
Wow. One day I'll get a Dreamcast. I would like to get one of those.
Yeah, it's a cool system. One of my favorites.
Yeah.
Oh, we are in overtime, and Pete is letting us know.
Yeah, he started.
All right, and listen, it really flew by quick tonight, didn't it?
It did, man. What a great! You guys all had some great stuff to say.
Yep.
Thank you. Pete and I got in our favorite little digs about Star Wars, and
that's right.
So it all worked out.
I said I watched it, love Star Wars, didn't really like those final movies, and Stuart said I've never watched them and I hate them.
Hey, I don't hate them. You can't hate something that it's just
you hate them.
I hate wasting my time is the problem.
That's fair.
Yeah. Yeah. I can when I ordered steak. There you go.
All right, guys, we're going to take off as soon as Pete puts the gone up there.
We're waiting on Pete for once.
Great chat tonight, guys. It was great. Can't wait until next week. So thank you.
Thanks for hanging. That was fantastic.
Go game gone.
All
right, everyone. I'll be back tomorrow at noon Central with another game. Today's game was really interesting. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's a Japanese card game that's actually a lot of fun.
And I'm hoping to have Paralandra on Hammer Away sometime soon. If you haven't checked them out,
nice.
Check them out. Paralandra. They're from Springfield, Missouri. They're on their second full-length album when they have EPs. Go out and check those out. It's kick ass. It's great stuff.
All right. We'll see you guys later. Pete, thanks for coming on. And what do you have coming up, Pete?
Me as always.
What do you have anything coming up?
I just released to lead into this show tonight. I had the latest Xbox gameplay video come out. So if you missed it beforehand, go check it out afterwards. And
fantastic.
I got some ColecoVision stuff coming out too. So
sweet.
Cool. I
think I'm going to be doing a late nighter tonight because I'll be working around here late tonight. So
all right. And we'll see you guys later.
Bye. Thanks, guys.
Night.